The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the individual guests.
What is going on, my Go Squad? Welcome to the Armed Citizen Podcast Live. This is episode number 298. We are live as always on YouTube. I am Trey with Ghost Tactical, and I will be the captain of this sinking ship. We will let women and children go first. If you're Billy Zane, you can probably sneak your way onto a life raft. We do not, just saying this as a disclaimer, we do not expect to send any, how do I put this? Untested little submarines to come and see the sinking ships. We don't anticipate seeing anyone down there in the water. The water is kind of cold, so I hope you have clothes on. But it is July 4th, 2023. Happy Independence Day, America. Happy Independence Day. It's a great day. It's our birthday, and we'll do a lot of stuff about that tonight. But real quick before we get going, if you're out there in the chat, go ahead and say something out there. We don't know that you're out there unless you do. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and put them out there, and we'll try to get those read if they are relevant to the conversation. And let's be honest, most things are relevant, especially tonight. We don't have much of a plan, but it's going to be the average shit show. But hope you guys enjoy it. We will have some fun tonight celebrating this wonderful country. If you want to text into the show, utilize the Ghost Tactical Hotline presented by our good friends Rod and Shelly Gates at Aegis Gun Care. That phone number is 530-364-4678, and go check out aegisguncare.com. If you're in the hole, you're in the darkness, and you're looking for that light, call me, text me, email me 24/7. I cannot give you medical advice, but I can pretty much listen, talk you through some stuff. More importantly, just be there for you. If you are looking for someone to get you to some medical attention, remember two things. One, you are not alone in this fight. You have a lot of brothers out here that are willing and able to help you in any way possible. And two, the world is a much better place with you in it. So utilize the Veteran Crisis Hotline, 1-800-273-8255. Once again, 1-800-273-8255 veterans. Press the number 1. We are spotlighting, as always, United States Marine Corps. If you have any questions on what it takes to earn the title United States Marine, see the website marines.com. And as always, we are proud members of the Rapid Fire Radio Network and the Self-Defense Radio Network. So go check out all of your favorite pro-gun, pro-sway podcasts over at rapidfireradio.us and selfdefenseradio.net. Let's bring in our crew. Happy birthday to America. What's going on, guys? How are y'all doing?
Doing great. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Just got home a little while ago, just in time to get me some lemonade and get on here. So yeah, let's say hello to these wonderful bastards from the weird state of Arizona, where he is standing on the corner in Winslow, trying to pimp him out to make some money to pay for a new refrigerator. Apparently, we've got John, the soulless ginger bastard. What's up, man?
What is up? I would be baking on the corner of Winslow, Arizona. Right now, it's 113 today with a high of 121 next week. So it's going to be a fun week. Hopefully, it's not soul crushing.
I just hope that you get your refrigerator fixed. Just saying.
Same. It should hopefully be tomorrow. They should come out and fix it.
Well, we'll see. And always riding shotgun with us from the great state of Texas, the tactical virus. Leprechaun himself. What's up, Clove?
Yo, America.
You got a patriotic shotgun in mind for us for tonight?
All of them.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
Do you have one in particular?
Just all of them.
All of them. All the shotguns. Are you sure about all of them?
Shotguns for everybody, man. Heck yeah.
Okay. There's not a shotgun out there that you'd say, maybe not this one.
I can't think of one. No.
Nope.
I would take them all. It doesn't bother me.
All right. Well, as you guys know, today is July 4th. It is Independence Day. I am still to the belief that there are many, many great documents written. Among them, I think probably at the top or near the top of the list are the Bill of Rights and the Declaration of Independence. Thomas Jefferson wrote a wonderful piece. It was altered later on a little bit by like Ben Franklin. I think John Adams was in. There were several that were kind of on a committee, but the basic foundation, the basic writing of the Declaration of Independence was by Thomas Jefferson. So I want to read a little bit of it. I'm not going to read the whole damn thing. I want to read a little bit of it because it's still kind of, especially in today's America, a lot of this stuff still rings true and make you think a little bit. When in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitle them, a decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. That whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. Obviously, it goes on and on and on, but those words right there, I think, are amongst the most important words ever written. Obviously, I think the Bill of Rights, James Madison wrote the Bill of Rights mostly, and a great job. But those words right there are amongst the most important words ever written in the world, in my opinion. So it is a day of celebration. It is Independence Day. You guys do anything this weekend, or especially today, anything for Independence Day or the whole weekend?
Nope.
I'm leaving in about an hour to go see fireworks and food trucks and such.
There you go. Get me some street tacos.
Either that or Mexican corn, which is so good.
Mexican corn. That does sound pretty good, actually. Mandatory carry, $6 super chat. I want to see Ghost and Clover collaborate on a Cry 612. Should piss them both off. Clover, what do you think?
Oh, I'm muted. I'd be okay with it. I don't know why it would take me off. I mean, it's a bullpup, which sucks. But
and you know that I love bullpups, so I'm down with it.
Yeah. Except for unless he's talking about the one that mounts under the quad rail.
I think that's exactly what he's talking. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that's exactly it's right underneath the quad rail. But I'm still okay with that. I'm okay with that. I don't know why it would piss either one of them off.
Yeah, I don't get it, but
yeah. I'm down. All right. You guys know that every Thursday, Saturday, and Monday, we have our Ghost Tactical Polls, aka the Pony Polls. Go check out our good friends over at AndersonManufacturing.com. Let's check out the polls for this week. The first one was put out yesterday. 2.1 thousand votes. 2.1 thousand votes. Of these, what's America's best landmark? Your choices: Grand Canyon, Lincoln Memorial, Mount Rushmore, or Statue of Liberty. Ginger? of those, which one's your favorite?
Being in Arizona, I'd have to say the Grand Canyon.
Okay. All right. It is pretty amazing. I don't think people really understand the vastness of it. It is incredible for sure. Clover, what about you? What's your favorite of these four?
I got to go with the Statue of Liberty, man. I mean, how that's like it embodies all of the essence of America. So
Yeah. No, I agree.
I don't
I
think
probably,
it's certainly not the most majestic. That would be the Grand Canyon, but as far as embodying America, probably the Statue of Liberty.
yeah, I would tend to agree. I think that there are two things I think that most people around the world think of in America. One is the flag, and two is probably the Statue of Liberty.
Three's probably all the guns.
Well, that's honestly there is some truth to that. I think.
Well, especially Texas. It's really interesting when you talk to people, from other parts of the world and stuff like that. They
Yeah.
view Texas as, literal cowboy.
Yeah.
I mean, in this day and age, in 23, I mean, they're thinking we're walking around with, chaps and spurs and hats and horses and guns and that type of stuff. So, and I think to an extent, foreign countries even see, the whole country that way.
Yeah, I remember being overseas and a bunch of people over different places that I was at. When I said I'm from Texas, do you own horses? Do you know JR? A lot of it was JR Ewing. Do I know JR? Now, John, JR Ewing was a famous character in a show called Dallas back in the 80s. For context there, but yeah, I got. Do you own horses? How many horses do you have? Do you know JR? But yeah, I think there are a lot of them that people that do, especially Texas, think that that's exactly what it is. But yeah, 2.1 thousand votes. 48% say the Grand Canyon. 32% say the Statue of Liberty. 16 say Mount Rushmore, and 4 say the Lincoln Memorial. If you haven't been to DC, guys, now obviously there are not everyone wants to go to DC, and I get why. But I think that everyone should go to DC once in their life. It is the capital of our great country. It is phenomenal. I'm a history guy, so there's a lot to be said around not just DC, but the surrounding. You can go like 2 hours in a lot of different directions, see a lot of historical places. But some of the memorials there are incredible. Let's go into the Smithsonian. I mean, you go for 2 or 3 days to DC, and keep an open mind. I think you'll appreciate. What I love about DC is the city. When they designed the city, or the district, if you will, they designed it to intimidate foreign heads of state. They designed it to when a leader from another country came to America and they went to go see the president, it was almost frightening to them on how it was designed. It was supposed to be big. It's supposed to be bold. A lot of the idea was back from the old Romans, where everything was just big and overwhelming. So yeah, a lot of it it's kind of cool. It's a cool place. Obviously, they have interesting political things going on there, but I think everyone should go visit our capital at least once in their lives. I think everyone should do that. Anyways, that's my spiel. The next one, Saturday, 1.7 thousand votes. What's your favorite way to celebrate the 4th of July weekend? Your choices are cooking out, chilling at the lake or the beach, wherever, the water somewhere, going to a fireworks show, or road tripping it. Clover, of those 4, if you were going to do something, which one of those 4 would you more likely do?
Well, I used to put on the fireworks shows for quite a number of years with the 4-H events and other things. So not necessarily watching, but being able to put them on, and then other people enjoying them, and being a part of that is definitely up there. And given the money and the circumstances, I would absolutely like to do that again. But commercial grade fireworks are not cheap.
No, they're not, and they're only getting more expensive. And
We literally fundraised every year to try to make that happen, and had to get sponsors and stuff because it was $1,000 plus.
oh yeah, absolutely. Ginger, of those four, if you could do, obviously you're going to the fireworks tonight, but in general, what would you most likely want to do of those four?
The fireworks and the cookout. Those are the two that I normally do. Or one that's, I guess it's considered road tripping, but camping. We used to go camping every year and then
Well, that's
drive
definitely
over.
road tripping. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's definitely road tripping. You're not sleeping in your own bed and all of that, so that would definitely be a road trip. Even if you're camping out in the backyard, I would consider that road tripping, just because you're not sleeping inside your normal house and bed and all of that stuff. So yeah, I know that a lot of people growing up, we always cooked out at our house. We had a big neighborhood cookout in our house, and kind of like a neighborhood cookout, but kind of everyone kind of gathered at our place. And then we had friends of ours that would always camp out in their backyard, and it was a family thing. And it was, if the kids wanted to go in or whatever, I guess they could, but they put the tents up and they built a campfire and all that stuff. They would go and camp out in their backyard, but they would camp out for 4th of July. Now here, where we are, obviously we're a destination place because of the lake and all that. This town goes from like 10,000 to 200,000 over the 4th of July weekend. It's crazy. All the campgrounds are always filled up, so people have a good time and all that. I probably would select cooking out. I'm not a huge. I like fireworks, but I'm not a big fan of being around them. They can be interesting for my brain at times. But yeah, I'm not a huge fan of fireworks.
Be
I love
interesting for your facial hair too sometimes.
Yeah, could be.
There wasn't a year that ever went by, and I say a year, sometimes we did 2 shows a year, that I didn't have some. It wasn't catastrophic, but I didn't have one go off at ground level or some crazy thing. Singed clothes, singed hair, It's a wonder I'm not dead.
The interesting thing is you if you're around fireworks long enough, you kind of know that certain ones, the timing of the fuses and all that. But
problem is if you did not
problem
is if you did not make them, and again, we did commercial grade
that's what
stuff
I'm saying.
even,
That's what I'm
but
saying.
you didn't make that. So if there was a crack in any of the cylinders or anything, one next to it will set it off, and it's wild.
Yep, no, for sure. Did you guys have to like douse the ground, get it wet and all that in the area, or how
We
that
always
work?
had the fire department out.
Okay.
We only had one issue where it got out of hand, and it was actually the one that hit me the worst. I mean, it literally singed off facial hair, and it was bad. And it, of course, set the grass on fire. And I was okay. I wear glasses, and even though in July it was in the heat of the summer, I would wear heavy coats with a hoodie and gloves and glasses and all of that. Because I mean, the shows would last, between 10 and 15 minutes, somewhere around in there. And so
Sure.
I could stand it long enough. And if it wasn't for that, yeah, I would be missing fingers and have all kind of scars and no telling what. But yeah, we always had the fire department. They were always ready and willing to bring out the grass truck and stage right there, kind of where we're setting them off, just in case.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Let's see here. 1.7 thousand votes. 55% say cooking out. 27% say fireworks. 15% say chilling at the lake, and 3% say road trip. Which is interesting because a lot of people travel on 4th of July, but people that voted aren't among those apparently. So it's interesting.
Well, are the people traveling on the 4th of July traveling to get to a cookout? I wonder.
And can they see a fireworks display from the cookout, because the cookout might be on a boat?
Exactly. There you go.
Just break the matrix.
It's broke, man. It's gone. Morpheus is going to show up any minute now.
Red or blue? Red or blue? Which one do I go with? Red or blue?
I'm going to cheat and say purple.
Both of them, huh? All right.
Hey, it's a party, man. I'll take both.
This
Thank you.
is true. This is true.
You know what Ralphie May said?
Ralphie May learned the hard way that sometimes those parties go wrong. All right. Last Thursday, 1.9 thousand votes. Of my current carry rotation, which do you prefer? The 4 guns that are in my current rotation: the Beretta APX, the Canik TP9 SF Elite, the Gerson 1911 SC Ultimate and 9mm, or the Walther PPQ Subcompact. Ginger, of those 4, which one would you prefer?
Oh, that one was hard because the only one that I personally have had experience with and like is the PPQ. Like, I haven't tried the APX yet. I've heard good things. I haven't
Really surprisingly good.
Yeah, I haven't tried the. I tried the 10 mil. If it's anything like the 9 mil is anything like the 10 mil Gerson, I would say yeah, that one too. What was the other one? There was one other.
The Canik TP9 SF Elite.
That would be number 2 for me because I've tried that one. I really did like that one. So.
Yeah. I love all of them. That's the reason why I have a rotation. People say, why do you have a rotation? Because I have so many guns that I really love to carry, and I'm not just going to carry one. There's like, oh, well, that's just not very smart. I don't care. I have multiple guns. I probably actually got a couple more that aren't on that list. But it's like, man, I've got so many guns that I actually enjoy carrying. And Clover knows this, and John probably knows this too. For a long time, my pistol purchases were in mind of carrying. Now I've strayed away from that in the last few years and expanded my horizon a little bit on handguns. But most of the handguns I bought for years were with the mind of carrying. And so most of the guns that I own, I can carry. And yeah, there's a reason why I have a rotation. I enjoy carrying different guns, and I enjoy a lot of different guns. So I want to keep them in their rotation and all that. Clover, of those 4, the Beretta APX, Canik TP9, Gerson, and the Walther PPQ Subcompact. Which one would you go with?
You know, it's hard to beat, and it's arguable. I get it, but it's hard to beat the trigger on the PPQ.
It is,
and it's hard to beat the feel, and it's hard to beat the accuracy, and it's hard to beat the reliability. And it's just hard to beat so many things. And this will make folks mad, but Walter screwed up. I don't know why they re-released it as the PDP and even messed with it. I don't get it.
I think, and this is not just Walther. I think that there are a lot of companies that, in general, remake or change stuff up just to have a new model out. For whatever reason, and it is what it is. But yeah, I mean,
trigger's not as good on every PDP I've ever shot. The trigger is not as good as every PPQ I've ever shot.
Yep, I would agree with that. I think that there have been a couple PDPs that have come close, but like you said, not all of them. And almost every PPQ I've ever pulled a trigger on have been amazing. I've said it publicly, and I'll say that until something else passes it. The 2 best stock triggers I've ever shot in my life, 1911s aside.
Yeah, striker
fired, semi-auto triggers are the Walther PPQ and the Canik TP9. Hands down, the best 2 triggers I've ever pulled stock. It's hard for me to choose one. I really can't choose one of these. There's a reason why I have many in my rotation, because I can't just choose one, and I don't want to just carry just one.
Well, how many do you have in your rotation, John?
Oh God, 10 maybe.
Oh, wow,
it all depends. It all depends on
like regular rotation. I'm not saying occasional, because occasional I'll strap on a 44 Magnum, right?
So regular rotation, it's about 4, and it was 5, but I had to take one out of the regular rotation because of laws.
Yeah,
That's fair.
But
That's fair.
like when I first started carrying, it was like, depending on what I was doing, it's like, okay, yeah, there's a revolver in there. There's a pocket carry gun. There's like, the PPQ, the shield, even if I retire one out, it's not retired. Like if the original shield, I have the shield plus now. Is the original shield retired? No, I'm still gonna throw it in my rotation every once in a while.
I don't consider special purpose like a pocket thing or an ankle thing. I don't consider that a regular rotation. I just don't. But yeah, I think 3, 4, 5. I think that's probably most people. I've got 3 out of the 4 ghosts. Which are those regularly in the rotation?
Oh yeah. The only one that's not on this list that is in the regular rotation, with the picture poll on YouTube, you only get 4 choices. But if I had the 5th, it would be the shield. To this day, the shield is actively in the rotation. The shield for me will always be in the rotation. That gun I bought was my first gun to carry, like specifically for carry. And it's the original shield. There are great ones out there, but for me, the shield will always hold a special place in my heart when it comes to carry guns. I still think to this day, it's probably, as far as size and everything, I still think that it is an iconic. If not, I think it set up what carry guns are today.
I feel you, because I'm that way with the 42.
Yeah.
I cannot get away from the 42. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
It's effective. I'm comfortable, competent, and confident with it. I enjoy shooting it. Like I just can't.
Yep.
I've played with a bunch of different things, and it's just it tops the list for my EDC. I cannot, and I don't ever see it going out of the rotation. Quite honestly.
No,
I mean,
don't.
maybe if they quit making 380 one day, I'm forced to. But other than that,
right.
Well, let me pose this question to both of you.
Yeah.
The shield, the original shield, was the number 1 selling carry gun until the P365 came along, right? If we can agree on that, I believe
Not
that's
true. Not true.
Was it the 43?
LCP for years?
That's right.
The LCP was the highest selling as far as units. Actually,
prior to that, it was the Burst of Thunder.
The Bursa had a good run there, but I would say like 2016 to like 2020, LCP ruled.
The size of the LCP changed the game. That was the advantage over the Bursa. You're right. That's kind of what Kill did. Is it got way small and
yeah.
Let me pose it this way then. It was one of the top.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah,
okay.
definitely.
If the 36, if the Shield Plus came out the same time as the 365, would you be more leaning towards buying the Shield Plus or the 365? If you
I'm not a SIG fan, so it'd be 100% Shield for me.
I'm not a fan of either, so I guess I would just use a pointy stick. I don't know.
Well, I posed this question to.
If I had to choose one, I'd probably go SIG because I could handle a SIG over a Smith & Wesson auto loader.
Yeah, Clover historically does not like semi-auto Smith & Wesson.
Centerfire.
Center. Well, okay. But yeah. Yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I posed this question the other day to a group of people, and they were like, it would have been hard pressed to choose between the two because they really liked the SIG at the time, and now with everything else out there, it's the 365 is just another one. But a lot of people like the Shield because the Shield just does not recoil. It doesn't feel like those micro compacts. It just wants to stay on target. And that's why I think it's still popular. Even the Gen 1s are just still that popular today because of that fact.
Yeah. No, I think so too. And I think that the biggest thing that the 365 did was it didn't break any ground, right? Like it didn't change anything because it didn't introduce really. There were other double stack 9 subcompact, micro compact, whatever you want to call them, out there. What SIG did was make that size gun, cool. And so Smith & Wesson, even if they came out at the same time, I think that the Shield would probably be the better gun, but I think that people would still go with SIG because SIG's more cool than Smith & Wesson possibly. I would say that that's where I think SIG changed the game, is they took this gun and made it cool to where everyone that didn't have one of those, they had to come with it. So now, Guy out there says just picked up a Walther P22 for the wife so far. She loves it. It's got 250 rounds of the Aguilar Extra through it. Is that Aguila or is it Aguilar?
Yeah, he put an R on the end. It's Aguila.
Okay, I didn't know if there was an Aguilar 22 LR that I didn't know about. So I figured it was Aguila, but I was making sure. I was going to ask you two and know a lot more about some of those interesting brands that I don't know.
Oh, it's a current P22. It's probably okay. Thankfully, they did redesign the chambering a little bit on the P22, the early models, which is what I've got. Pretty unreliable. They rectified a lot of that by I can't remember now. Cody mentioned it. We talked about it on a podcast years ago, but they did something with the chambering on them.
Well, I did know at one point they were having slide cracking issues as well, right there where the slide stop. So keep an eye on that, because I don't know if they fixed that metallurgy yet.
Well, a lot of people don't know that, but on 22s and especially, pretty much on all semi-automatic 22s, that's why if you think about it, you think about the Rugers and the Buckmarks and the High Standards and the Woodsmans and the other old, and how the slide is like this little bitty piece in the back and the barrel is fixed. When you get into a full slide, you've got to cut the weight of that slide somehow, or the 22 ain't gonna cycle it. And unfortunately, John, you're right. When you cut weight, sometimes depending on how you cut that weight, whether it's metallurgy or you're taking too much out of it or whatever, you can have issues.
Yep. Sorry, I'm writing something down before I forget.
What I'm saying is that's why those quote unquote target pistols is what people call those, seems like nowadays, which they were just 22 handguns back in the day. But that's why they were made the way they were, is to be solid and be reliable and still function.
Yep. Ozzy out there says, I've only got 2. I guess he's talking about carry guns in his rotation. Both SIGs, 320 and 365. Hey, those are solid. Gary says, I dug my Glock 42 back out and started it back in the summer rotation. He missed it. I think he converted from a 42 into a 365 guy the last couple of years, but it's nice to see him dig out the 42. Guy says, I still carry a Burst of Thunder time to time. Love it. It's a great shooting gun.
I went with the Thunder 45. That's what I went with, because that's at the time. That was at the time that I thought I needed knockdown power or whatever. You know what I mean?
This was prior to you going to the 42 and going 380 then?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I went LCP before I went 42. I went LCP out of the Bursa 45. No. I went out of the Bursa 45 into a Pair Ordnance Warthog, which was also 45.
Snap.
Yeah. And then went into the LCP from there. I'm like, screw this 45 and heavy and blah, and so I'm like, I don't need all that. I don't. And
go ahead.
But it's not in my rotation anymore. But I would not hesitate to put it back to the rotation. You know what I mean? I still got it.
Yeah. And
it's a phenomenal handgun.
I got a question for you. You mentioned you carry the LCP. It's a 380 handgun.
Well, I've carried it now. Yeah.
And that was a precursor to the 42. Now,
the original LCP too, by the way, not the Gen 2s or anything like that. The OG when it first came out. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So let me ask you this: when you started carrying and shooting the LCP, which most people understand that is about a 27-pound trigger pull. Just saying.
Oh, I had to fix that very quickly. Yeah.
But was there a reason why you went from the LCP to the 42? Were you unhappy with the LCP?
Yeah.
Or were you just wanting to look for something different?
So the LCP, even with the upgrades from Galloway Precision, the LCP was, it's of course smaller than the 42, right? So when you're talking about small handguns, especially in 380, this is true with feed ramp angles and other things. I mean, you got to be really meticulous about keeping that clean. You got to be really careful with ammo you use. And then, like I said, I had to do some upgrades and all of that because the LCP's hammer fired. So Glock, I'm used to Glocks. I like the cup and ball Glock sights, stock Glock sights. I shoot Glocks well. I'm not a Glock fanboy or anything, but I shoot Glocks well.
Same here.
So it just, I don't know, it made sense to me to, hey, there's a lot of perks. I'm giving away a little bit of size, not really much in the way of weight at all, but a little bit of more in the thickness. In the size, but here's the thing.
I don't see it being much.
But here's the thing in the thickness too. Like, I don't like some of the handguns that are out there, and I'm trying to think of one in particular that I've played with in the past. It was absolutely horrible, but you know what I'm talking about. Some of the handguns are really, really thin, and like they're just hard to hold on to, and they're uncomfortable, and they're like, I want something small, but at the same time, I want something that fits my hand. You know what I mean? And the Glock 42 fits that role a little better for me than the LCP did as well. So it had a lot of perks to it, I guess. That's why I went with that.
Go ahead, John.
Well, it's kind of funny because I shot the LCP, the original, and I did not like it. So for my 380 carry, I bought a Remington RM 380, and I really did like that gun. I just wish it wasn't made by Remington.
Right.
Well, and it shot great. I hadn't had any issues with mine, but like I've seen it where the takedown pin flies out, and I've seen it with it. So I really like that gun because it was metal instead of polymer, and it just shot so nice. And it's in there in the pocket carry rotation every once in a while.
Yeah, my pocket carry 380 is the Bodyguard. That's what's a Bodyguard.
That may be the worst trigger ever.
It's terrible. It's terrible. At the time, it came right after the Shields, and at the local gun shop, they had a smoking deal on it. So I picked it up, and it's like, you buy once, cry once type thing. But I'll say this: it's a terrible trigger. Surprisingly, I shoot it well, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, surprisingly, with that trigger, I still shoot it pretty well.
You're just used to it.
Yeah, yeah, probably.
And that's a hammer fired, and that's a hammer fired too, right?
It is, yeah.
And here's what a lot of people don't understand, and I know you're not a revolver guy, don't even own one or whatever. So, but you get it. With double action, if you shoot something enough, you get used to the break, and then you're able to stage.
Right.
And that works the same way as a lot of people talk about with staging the trigger on revolvers. That's where you mostly hear that, but it's a thing with semi-auto too, with double action.
Yeah, and especially like the internal hammer pocket guns, if you will. There's a reason why they're not double action, single action. They're double action. Because if you're going to throw them in the pocket or whatever, a 27-pound trigger pull is a nice safety to have, if you will.
Well, and two, it's a pocket gun. It's small. The barrel's super short.
That's right.
By that factor alone, it's not going to be nearly as accurate anyway. So what difference is a 20-something pound trigger? I mean, if you had that 20-something pound trigger on a 6-inch barrel, okay, you're screwing yourself, right? But on a 2-inch barrel, like inch and a half barrel, whatever, like it's really not making that big of a difference.
Guy out there, question: what do y'all think of the Federal 99 grain HST 380? So far, it's this new carry ammo over American Gunner.
Yeah,
it's solid. I'm gonna do a couple things for you. One, my carry ammo as long as they make that caliber is the critical defense by Hornady. I've always carried it. I know how it's going to go. I'm not saying it's the best out there. That's just what I kind of chose back in the day as to be kind of my go-to. I will say this though. If you're out there looking for carry, and I don't even know if they make it in 3, they very well could. But the SIG V Crown, they came out a few years back for like maybe 75% of the price of what most other carry ammo is. If you guys have never shot, and I'm not a SIG guy, you know that. There it is right there. But if you're able to find some SIG V Crown, and John, you would know, do they make it in 380? I don't know.
They do.
Yeah.
They make it in 380 and 10. Originally they only came out with 9, but now they make it in
almost. I knew that, but okay, so they do. And Guy, I'm not telling you that the Federal's bad. I think it's great. It's probably is better than the Hornady. I just choose Hornady because that's what I've kind of always done with. But I will say that the SIG V Crown ammo is really solid for a really, really solid price. I know that you guys are. I know Clover's a fan of the Federal HST. John, what about you?
I'm a fan of the Federal HST, but there are 2 brands I always recommend if you want to use your practice ammo and your carry ammo to match. And what I mean by that is same velocity, same bullet weight, same recoil. Is SIG, because SIG's practice ammo and their V Crowns are
the same price.
And they're also identically the same load. And then same with Spear, and I believe Federal, depending on which
Winchester too, because I run my primary in
Winchester. You talking about Winchester carry ammo,
the PDX one.
Okay,
my primary in 380, and I'll love it as long as it's available. I can find it. Is Winchester PDX 1, and then they also make one they make some practice ammo called Train and Defend. That's the same. That's Ranger, but yeah.
This is the Ranger series. Same thing. They do the same with Ranger.
Yeah. But they make one called Train and Defend. And so, yeah, it's that way too. Used to, that wasn't the case. So that's really cool that companies do that nowadays.
Yep. I remember, that's the thing is why I kind of transitioned to the SIG V Crown. And I still carry a lot of my guns have Hornady, but I'm kind of going to some SIG and some different things. That V Crown's really solid. One of the reasons why is if you want to practice with your carry ammo, the Hornady is so bloody expensive that it's, now I'll go through like whatever in my magazines every probably 2 or 3 months, whether, I'll just go, if I haven't shot it in that time, I'll take my carry gun out and I'll just shoot that ammo and put new ammo in there. Always rotating the ammo into newer ammo, if you will. But it's also, you get a chance. But if you're just going to go out and shoot at range and you want to get used to your carry ammo, that can get really expensive. The SIG is not that way. And like Clover and John were out there, they're giving you a lot of other examples out there that you can practice with your carry ammo and not break the bank. Go ahead, Clover. I think you were going to say something.
Yeah, Gizzard out there is saying, believe it or not, he's carrying Fort Scott TUI in his G42 at the moment. I don't know if you've tested that extensively or not, Gary, but I know he was also talking about SIG V Crown in the 42, having some issues every now and then. First of all, if you're carrying 380 in semi-auto, again, you're going to have to keep that thing clean and keep the feeder out polished. I mean, to a mirror shine where you can see yourself in it, literally. If you go out and you practice or whatever, polish that feed ramp up and keep it that way. But the Fort Scott, there's something about the Fort Scott that you've got to be careful with. And this is across all calibers, so everybody really needs to pay attention to this. Their seating depths are different. And in some semi-autos, that does cause like some major feeding issues. So just be mindful of that. Don't go out and grab a box and then go out and pop like a couple of rounds through something and then go, oh, it's good. And I know Fort Scott, it's expensive, right? It's the price of any carry ammo. So way more expensive than rain ammo, but make sure that you've tested it out because you certainly don't want something that's going to hang up.
Absolutely. Let's go into some of these starred ones real quick. Run through these. Guy says, believe it or not, for pocket carry, always the Spectrum with a Lakeland captured recoil spring. I have no issues with it since the spring replacement.
Don't tell Gary that.
Right? No, I get it. Ozzy said the only 380 ACP ammo worth carrying is Underwood Extreme Defender, and Underwood is really, really good. I will throw that out there. There's a lot of great carry ammo these days. Underwood is a very good one. You can't. I've never heard anyone upset with Underwood. I'm not saying that everyone chooses it, but I've never heard people say, "Oh,
I don't
man,
care
I want to
for
carry
it."
this." You know?
Yeah, I don't care for it because I think Underwood in 380. Okay, let's.
Okay, 380. Yeah, it might be different than a 9. Yeah, for sure.
It's unnecessarily overpowered for me. It doesn't I can do just as good with my PDX1 or an HST as far as expansion, as far as everything else, and I'm back on target quicker. I can keep rapid fire in a smaller group better with that stuff over the Underwood stuff. So that's a personal thing. I mean, bigger guys who say that. Ozzy's a pretty big dude, so Ozzy probably can handle
He's a big dude.
it a little better. Yeah. Could be.
Yeah.
And he may be used to shooting it too, and that makes a difference.
Well,
I can't hardly find Underwood unless I order it, right? And it's like I don't like that.
They don't sell Underwood around here, as far as in the LGSs here. So if I have to get it online or something like that, but and maybe that's honestly why I started kind of getting into the Hornady is my local that I go to all the time is a big Hornady. Yeah, they've got a Hornady, and that's just reality sometimes, you know.
Yep.
Screwy Skullscone says Spear Gold Dot Federal HST at Underwood Extreme Defense. Spear Gold Dot has not been mentioned. Very solid. Very solid.
John did earlier. No, you said Lawman, didn't you?
No, I said CCI Spear or Spear Lawman and Spear Gold Dot, something like that. Yeah.
Yes. Gold Dot is the Lawman is the training version of the Gold Dot.
Yeah. And Spear's very, very good for sure. AK Lover says, please tell me the Witness 2311 is still a go. And what's the MSRP? It is a go. It should be coming out anytime now. You can thank our wonderful government for the delay in this.
Yep.
MSRP $999, right under $1,000 for that double stack 2311. That was the last that I've heard. Clover, have you heard anything else? That's the last I heard was the $999 mark.
That's it. I think last I heard, they finally got some of the issues with ATF and Department of State. They've had issues with.
Yes.
It is not Gerson. It is not EAA. Obviously, they want to get those things in the market, and if nothing else, make money. So it's not a hang up where, like some companies we see, Ghost, you and John both know this happens. Company comes out and they promise something, and they have their prototype, and 10 years later, they've never had the firearm. That is not the case with this. They are legit being held up by our wonderful government. So,
Dan, listen.
Yeah, they're ready.
They're tooled up. They're tooled up. They have everything. The production's going. They just can't get them into the country because of the issues.
Yep. Man, that was pretty cool. Ammo talk and carry talk for sure. I tell you what we're gonna do. We've got about 45 minutes before John gets out of here. He's got to go shoot his eye out with some fireworks. Let's draft. Let's do a quick draft. There's only 3. We should go back pretty quickly. I think everyone kind of likes to draft, but here's what we're going to do. We're going to draft American guns only. Not including like the SIGs and the Glocks that are now made in America. We're talking American companies. Go ahead, John. I feel like your head's getting ready to explode.
No, I'm good.
Okay. So let's do it real quick. We'll do 3 rounds of each. Let's go 3 gun, let's say. Rifle, handgun, shotgun. American-made companies. Each of us will get 3 rifles, 3 handguns, 3 shotguns. We'll each get a first pick in a round of each, all of that. So there's going to be 9 rifles, 9 shotguns, and 9 pistols total. That should be no problem for us to come up with those. I'm not gonna let's not put. Do we want to do revolvers and semis separately? I think we should just do handguns.
Do them all together.
Yeah, and then rifles. Let's do bolt, levers, semis all together. Just rifles, handguns, and shotguns. How about that?
Yep.
You guys good with that? Now let me ask you this: if someone were to say it's going to come up AR-15, is that, or do you go brand specific?
It's not specific.
Okay,
got to go specific brand and model.
I would say so too, because like a 1911 isn't a 1911. Like if I say 1911, that encompasses a lot of 1911s and all that. So I think we do need to go brand
specific,
and specific.
Can I get a ruling on this? If it is Beretta, say Beretta 92, do I have to specify the U.S. made, or are they out because they're foreign?
No, they're out. They're
out. Okay. All right. That's what I thought.
American founded companies. American founded companies. How about that?
Yep.
A lot of these companies now, like CZ and all that, they're in America and they're making guns in America now, but they're not American origin company. Make sense? What do you want to do? Let's do rifles first. What do you think?
Let's do it.
All right. I'm gonna let John, you go first. First round pick. I'm gonna keep track here. First round pick for rifles here.
With my first pick in the 2023 draft, I'm going to select the Remington 700.
Okay, Remington 700. Very, very nice. Clover, your first round draft pick for rifle.
Easy, man. Winchester 1873.
Winchester 1873. Wow. I'm getting ready to shit Clover because I'm doing this I'm going to go Marlin 1895.
Go ahead.
We're all going old school.
You got the better rifle. I don't know that it's most American iconic, but I think
I'm not saying iconic. I'm saying we're drafting rifles that are American, maybe not iconic, but we're drafting what we would choose that were American made rifles.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Second round. Clover, you've got first pick the second round.
Ruger 1022.
I knew that was coming. I'm surprised, honestly, that wasn't his first round
draft.
I
knew you wasn't going to say it, and John had already spoken, so I knew I was probably going to be safe. So I snagged Winchester while I could.
So I was going to snag one of yours, and I thought you might want the Marlin more than the 1022, so I went Marlin. But yeah, it was. I was going to go one of those two. Yeah. For me, everyone knows it, man. I'm gonna go with the HK 416. I just that is just fucking amazing. Yeah, I know. Oh, HK, never mind. Duh, not American. That popped in my head. Okay, jeez, Louise. Let's go with. All right, let's go with the M1 Grand. Garand.
Is that American or Canadian?
Canadian.
That's Canadian.
Is it really?
Canadian. Yeah, he's a Canadian.
No, I never knew that. I never knew that. So I learned something new today.
Garand's Canadian.
Son of a bitch. I guess I won't go Garand. Well, screw it. Let's go 1903 Springfield.
Good
that
choice.
Was good. That was going to be one of my next two, potentially. Yeah. So that's off the board now.
I am going to go with the Browning BAR.
Oh, nice.
It's a good one. Solid.
It is. All right. So I get first pick in the third round. iconic at this point, and it's our birthday. Kentucky long rifle. Just for the iconic side of it, I'm going to go with Kentucky long rifle.
Wow.
I know there's a lot better things out there, but I think that's just a fun one. I think that's, yeah. Ginger, your third round pick.
Well, I've been mulling back and forth between two of them. And just for the memes and to be funny, I'm going to go with the Facts and Firearms A-Rack.
The what now? I'm sorry. I was scratching my ear.
Just for the memes, the Facts and Firearms A-Rack, because you'll never see one.
Okay. All right. Clover, your third round pick.
1874 Sharps.
1874 Sharps. Clover, 1874. Do we want to go another round, or we want to just move on? I know John's got to go ahead. Let's just move on. So let's Clover ended up with the Winchester, the 1873, the Ruger 1022, and the 1874 Sharps. Ginger, Remington 700, the Browning BAR, the Faxon A-Rack. Okay.
ARAK. That's how it's spelled. It's basically an AR and an AK combined.
I know that, but I mean, is that they say the A-Rack, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And I ended up with the Marlin 1895, 1903 Springfield, the Kentucky long rifle. For some reason, I didn't have any modern sporting rifles. Isn't that funny? Go figure.
I thought for sure you would pick an Armalite or a Colt. You know,
I was really gonna go with the Colt M16 on my third pick. But all of a sudden, like nostalgia, whatever, the Kentucky long rifle just popped in my head, and I was like, "Oh shit, let's go with the Kentucky long rifle." You know, let's do this. We're gonna go handguns next. So this will be Ginger, Clover, Ghost. Ginger, you had first pick. So Clover, you're going to get first pick of the first round for handguns.
Colt single action Army.
All right. Colt single action Army. Then I'm going to go with the 1851 Navy.
And if you're going with the 1851 Navy and he went with the Army, I'm going to go the Remington 1858 Army, or New Army. Was it New Army or Army, Clover?
1850?
I think it's 1858.
New Army.
1858 New Army. All right. So we got our iconic revolvers out of the way. So second round, I'll go first in the second round. Gotta go Colt 1911. I mean, that's kind of tough to beat that one.
1911 A1.
Yep. Ginger, your second round pick.
I'm going to go with the Colt 1903 Pocket Hammerless.
Good one.
Colt 1903 Pocket Hammerless. All right. Clover, your second round pick.
I'm going to stick with Colt, Alex, and I'm going to go Colt Walker.
Right. Ooh, the Walker. Okay. Interesting. Ginger, you've got first pick in the third round.
I am going to go with the Savage, and Clover, I need your help with this. Is it the 1912, which is the 10-round 380?
Yeah, I think so.
1912 380.
Yeah, or it's 32. Sorry, 32.
32.
I'll get you an actual date, but it's the Savage.
The Savage 32.
Yeah.
I know what he's talking about. So, but yeah.
Okay. Clover, your third round pick.
we on third round?
We are, yeah. Third round already.
How do we get to?
You've got the Colt Single Action Army and the Colt Walker so far.
But I thought we were rotating around. Why do I get first pick again?
You don't. That was his third. He got the first pick of the third round. He went with the Savage 3-2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
1907.
So I've got the Walker.
1907. Okay.
I've got the Walker, the 07.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. Hey, this is tough. Man, I need a semi-auto. Ruger Mark 1.
Oh. Okay. I'm going to go. I've already got a semi and I've got the Navy. I'm going to go the first handgun I ever bought, and I still wish I had it, the Smith & Wesson Model 10.
I wanted to say that, and I'm glad you did. And here's the reason. That was a major U.S. export as well. So not only iconic, it's still around today, but that thing has been used by police forces and military and stuff around the world.
Yeah. Yep. To this day, it's one of the reasons why I don't like revolvers, but I still wish I had it. You know what I'm saying? I still wish I had it.
Now, guys saying Browning high power, that would not count though, right?
No, it was produced by FN, so
designed by Browning, but finished out produced actually by FN.
It was not produced by Browning; it was an FN. So as much as if the FN was available, I would have taken it ahead of the 1911 personally. That's just me. Maybe not, but I might have taken the third round for sure. But yeah, just because it's a Browning, it actually was FN. All right, so Ginger,
you get to start shotguns.
Oh Jesus! Why did I do? Ginger, you've got the Remington 1858 New Army, the Colt 1903 Pocket Hammerless, and the Savage 1907 and 32. Clover's got the Colt Single Action Army, the Colt Walker, and the Ruger Mark 1. I've got the 1851 Navy, the Colt 1911, and the Smith & Wesson Model 10. I feel like I won that one. I think I might have won that one. And ironically, none of them are modern semi-automatic guns. I didn't go the Glock 17 or the Beretta 92. I could have gone either one of those, but I could have gone with a lot of other stuff. Like I was thinking in my mind, the Colt Python, I almost went.
Smith & Wesson 29 was back of my head.
I was thinking the Detective Special. I don't know what model number that was, but the Detective Special is pretty awesome.
Just the Detective Special.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if it was a different model or not.
Yeah, Smith 29, Smith 36. There's a few different Smith & Wessons.
All the Gen 3 Smiths weren't brought up.
Yeah.
Schofield.
I'm not gonna lie.
Schofield would have been a solid one. Billy the Kid, yeah.
I thought of one as far as semi-auto. When Clover says I need a semi-auto, people are gonna laugh at me. Think what you will. The Springfield XD came into my mind. The XD line of Springfield were good guns.
It's not American made though.
Made in Croatia. Yep, made in Croatia, baby.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a copy of the HS 2000. Yep, it's Croatia.
Well, I'm glad I didn't say that. I didn't know that.
Yep. Dang, I had with all the Colt talk, one that did not come up.
Surprised. The buck. I'm surprised you didn't take the buck mark. By the way.
Yeah, I mean I could have, but we're talking about iconic like America type things again, so it's not necessarily when there's really going for my personal, but with all the old Colt talk that come up and all the older revolvers.
86 wasn't mentioned.
Schofield, what he said, John brought up the Schofield, which was Billy the Kid, but Doc Holliday, the Colt Lightning, wasn't brought up either.
Oh, see, I didn't know which one. I don't know all the stuff when it comes to revolvers, which one's which. What about the 686? Don't you think that's pretty iconic too? Or is that more modernly iconic?
I think that's more modern.
I mean,
Yeah.
none of us brought up the high point. Just
This is true.
or any of the Kel-Tecs, right?
Yeah.
What about the Ruger Blackhawk?
The Tech 9 technically was a pistol. It would have counted.
No, the Blackhawk would have been good. I mean,
Blackhawk
there's a
would have been a good one. Vaquero would have been a modern single action army, but it's different. It is not a Colt, not a Colt copy even.
I mean, we didn't bring up Derringers either.
Yep, it's true.
This is true too. What about the Model 36? That was a pretty.
Yeah. Oh, he got all serious and locked up on us there.
Yeah,
What's that? Did I lock up?
Yeah, for a second.
Oh, what about the 30? I hear people talk about the 36. Was that? I'm not a revolver guy, so I don't know. But the 36.
Yeah, 36. Yeah, 36 was the counterpart or whatever to the Detective Special, basically.
Okay. Guy says High Point and Sky.
If you want to watch a great video, Steve did a video with me on the 36 versus the Detective Special, which was interesting. It was more.
Now, is it more a barrel length or what was the main difference?
Round count.
Yeah.
Oh, just higher capacity. Okay.
One's got 6, one's got 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, Detective Special 6 and 36 is 5. Yep. Mine is also a heavier barrel. My Detective Special is a heavier barrel than my 36. But that's I think that's just because of the
38 Special.
I think that's just because of the age. Do what?
Was it Detective Special? Was that only 38 Special or was it 357?
No, Detective Special was only 38 Special.
Okay. Yep. I knew it was mostly used with 38 Special, but I didn't know if it was one of those 357s you could shoot 38.
Yeah, no, it's all smaller frame. At the time, they can make modern stuff that's 357 now in that frame size, but back when they were making those, they were a little bit leery about doing things like that.
Thought it might be a little bit too powerful for that frame, the 357.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, Neo, write down shotguns and let's go.
Bang bangs.
Ginger and Clover. So you said I got first pick, is that right?
You do with shotguns, yeah, of all things. Can you even come up with 3? That's going to be the question.
Oh, I can. I mean, I'm not ignorant, I don't think. Then again, they might not be made in America, so
as long as you stay away from modern stuff, especially, like you can't do anything hardly modern for a shotgun. There's very few modern stuff made.
Mossberg 500.
Yeah.
Am I clear with that one?
Yeah. You're
all right, Ginger. Now let me ask you this: is the 500? Does that count the 590, or is it just strictly the 500? I'm sticking with the 500. I just wanted to know.
The 500 590 is technically the same shotgun.
The same, yeah. I'm just saying
it's got a different model number because of some configuration issues, but pretty much every single part interchanges.
Yeah. So okay, I'm staying with the 500 Mossberg 500. Ginger,
so I would stack that, and I'd say you're choosing the 500 590 is what I would say.
Okay, all right, sounds good. I don't hear a thing you're saying, John. I don't know if you're muted or you also look kind of funky.
Yeah, he lost his something.
Lost something going on.
Be all right.
If we don't hear you, can type it in the private chat, or you just leave and come back if you'd like. But this awkward silence brought to you. Oh, here's a private chat. He's going Winchester 1897.
Oh wow, okay. He's going old school, man.
He is going old school, and that leaves you something that I didn't think would be around for the third pick. But go ahead, third pick.
You know what? I'm going Winchester Model 12.
Oh shit!
I'm going trench gun, man.
Okay. Was not expecting that.
You got an opportunity to stack some pump actions if you want.
I do.
We're trying to leave. I'm trying to leave you the easy ones. That way, just saying.
But I know what I should take. I know what I should take, but I'm not going to take it. I should take the 870,
Should.
but I'm gonna take the 1100. I think
That's a solid choice.
I'm gonna go because I've got the Mossberg, right. I'm gonna go the Remington 1100. All right, Ginger, your second round pick, and he is in the private chat. He says, I don't know what's going on. No, the sound is not coming through from here. We don't. You're muted though. I don't hear anything, John. I don't know if you're talking or not. Leave and come back if you want, and we'll wait. Just leave and come back. I might let you back in. Do you have a second round pick if you can hear me? He's got to run anyway. So, all right. Well, hell, we'll just go 4 each then, Clove. John, I don't know if you can hear us or not. Have a safe Independence Day. Have a safe fireworks show. We'll talk to you soon, buddy. So yeah, they are. He can hear us, so he's saying out. All right, so we'll just go between. Did you want now? Since he's gone, the 1897 is back on the board. We'll just do it that way.
Nah.
Okay. All right. So we'll go 4 rounds then for you and I. What's your second round pick?
This is the second. Ithaca Model 37.
Interesting. I'm gonna go Browning A5.
You can't. That's FN.
Oh, that's an FN also? Oh,
Browning's made by FN.
did he do everything with FN earlier today?
Made in Belgium and the later models in Japan, I think.
All right, then I'm gonna go the Remington 870 then. Because obviously you're not going to pick if you haven't taken it yet. So I don't know a whole lot more, so I might get screwed. Your third round pick.
Man. I want a double barrel, but the thing is, you got to go really old, unfortunately, to get anything like that. You know what? No, you don't. Hang on. Give me a second.
Let me ask you this when you're looking. I might be giving you one, but is the Browning Satori, was that FN as well?
Browning Satori is made overseas, yeah.
Okay, all right.
Pretty much all the.
I'm gonna start thinking, the Satori. Yeah, okay. Guys, I need help out there. I don't know much more shotguns.
Trying to get a particular model here. Let's go with this will work. Let's go with the H&R. I'm trying to get a model because we need models. And I don't remember them all. Let's go with an H&R Topper, model 58.
Topper?
Yeah.
Topper.
Single shot.
Model.
That's pretty iconic.
58. All right. I've got the 500, the 1100, and the 870.
Get you a 930 or a 940 Mossberg to round out the quad there.
I was thinking like the 830, 835. What's that one? It's a Remington. something Max. Remington. Hold on. Remington. Versamax?
Yeah, Versamax. Yeah. Versamax.
Is that a decent one? Am I getting screwed by doing that?
Versamax is okay. You don't have a whole lot of choices.
I don't. Yeah, the Remington Versamax. Because I think my top three are pretty solid. The 500, the 1100, and the 870. I think that's pretty.
Is the Versamax made in the?
Oh fuck! I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if it is. I don't know if it is. I mean, I'll allow it. I'm not going to argue it.
All right, screw it. I'm going to take John.
I question it. I question it.
1897.
I question it, but I'm not going. I wouldn't argue it. Right?
I'll just take John's 1897 for my last round pick. How about that?
Yeah, I just know that the newer semi-automatic shotguns, you got to be real careful, and newer over and unders, you got to be really careful. And
yeah. Your fourth round pick.
Man. The Anderson Pony Express.
We'll call the Anderson Pony Express prototype. Extremely rare prototype.
Right? Why not?
Why not? Technically, you could go with your Mandalorian rifle. Technically,
that's technically a shotgun. Of course,
it
was built in the United States because I built it, but it's built off of a Turkish shotgun. So I don't know that.
Was it a Charles Daly or who was that you built?
Hatfield.
Hatfield. Okay, I could remember.
Built off of a Hatfield. Yeah.
Walmart special, wasn't it?
Yeah, $99, and took 2 hours to get checked out with their stupid anti-gun, stupid policies. They even run, because here in Texas with a CHL, that's your background check. So you basically fill out the paper, pay, and leave. But
Same here.
Walmart won't allow you to do that. They call it in. You have to go through the ATF forms. You have to go through their forms. Blah blah blah. It is a pain in the butt. I don't know if anybody out there has bought a firearm from Walmart in the last few years, but holy Moses. I can remember.
That was the original gun. I was Winchester 3030 back when I was 19.
I can remember buying firearms at Walmart and not have that issue. And I can also remember back in the day, family members. I wasn't old enough, and Walmart didn't sell handguns by the time I was old enough to buy a handgun. They'd done phased all that out. Most stores anyway. Some stores they still did, but I can remember family members and stuff buying handguns at Walmart. But man, they're horrible now.
Yeah. No, I don't remember seeing handguns at Walmart. Like I said, I only bought one at Walmart ever. And that was my first.
We're talking in the 80s.
Oh yeah, see, I wasn't in the guns until 94. Yeah. So yeah, my first gun I ever bought was the Winchester 3030 at Walmart. I was on leave home from boot camp. Right, I think like the next day after I got home from boot camp, the first thing I did, I woke up that morning, went to Walmart and bought a rifle. Yeah. So yeah, I can say I was hooked, if you will. Buck out there says I sighted in the 350 Legend today. It's awesome. Yo, what I was just out there. What's up? No, I don't know, Buck. What did you get in 350 Legend?
What 350 Legend, man? I'm curious. That's one that all through the pandemic, 350 Legend was, and it still is. Here, it's stacked on the shelves, like stacks and stacks of 350 Legend, and I'm like, I need something in 350 Legend. Basically, it's a 30-30, pretty much.
I'm going to say, wouldn't it? I mean, you would probably want to go with lever, wouldn't you? I mean, that would be kind of like be the obvious choice to go with lever for the 350 Legend.
Problem is 350 Legend is not a rimmed cartridge.
Okay.
I don't think, is it? No, it can't be because it's designed for like.
I've never shot the 350 Legend, so I don't know.
So it can't be. Yeah, it's not rimmed. So in a lever, that's going to be tricky.
Yeah, I've never shot it. Ruger Ranch, he says.
Nice, very nice. Bolt action, cool.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. We got about 10 minutes before we're going to get out of here. So I know that you've been busy this weekend doing other stuff and all of that. I've been busy at work and everything else. But if you guys missed it, we had a pretty fun Ghost and Clover a couple nights ago. Check that over at the Ghost and Clover channel or either one of our podcast networks. You can check those out.
Those are always interesting.
Yes. Ozzy says he's got a Savage Axis in 350 Legend.
Nice.
That's solid right there.
That would have to be like an Axis 2 or something, though, Ozzy, right? I don't think 350 Legend was around with the OG Axis.
Buck says it is supersized 9mm. No. I've heard it and I know a lot, but I've never shot a 350 Legend. So, actually, probably, you know what? I'll probably make sure, if you don't mind, Clover, remind me and force me to shoot something in 350 Legend up at TriggerCon, because I'm sure someone will have a 350 Legend up there.
I should.
What do you think? If they should, if we find something, make sure I shoot it. I've heard
it's a 30. It's a 30-30. It was designed because 30-30 is neck down. In so many states, you can't hunt with a neck down. 350 Legend was basically designed for those people in those states to basically have a 30-30, because the 30-30 is arguably the most popular hunting cartridge in the United States. Let's be honest.
30-30.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. Straight wall 30-30. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
It's shorter because it has to be, but ballistically speaking, yeah.
No, I've heard many good things. I just have never shot it, not because I've avoided it. I've been around it, several opportunities to shoot it, different range days, and I just never have. Not because I'm avoiding, just because it doesn't pop in my head. So I remember, was it 2 or 3, 4 years ago? I can't remember. You shot it. Who was that had it? One of the first ones that came out with a gun.
Winchester, probably.
Was it Winchester? You shot like range day, like in 2020 or something?
Probably. It was probably Winchester. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I know you shot something 350 Legend like in 2020, and that was, if I remember correctly, that was like the first time I heard about it. It was like 2019 or 2020 when that's when I first started hearing about it. I don't know how long it's been around, but that was the first time I can remember.
Yeah, I did, and I think maybe
like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, and then maybe the 28 Nosler or something there.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Buck's taking out the 450 Bushmaster tomorrow. Nice.
Bushy. Yeah.
Yes. Fantastic. That sounds like it'd be a blast to shoot. So
now, what's his 450 bushy in? What's your 450 bushy in?
I want to say I think it's an AR platform.
Is it?
I might be wrong. I think that the Bushmaster is an AR, but Buck, what is it? I think it's an AR. But I might be wrong.
Yeah.
Let's wait for him to type it out there. This awkward silence brought to you by the 450 Bushmaster.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. But yeah. So we had the Ghost and Clover going on last Sunday. Ruger Ranch in 450 Bushmaster.
Oh, he's got a 350 and a 450. That's pretty cool.
Interesting. Okay.
I like it. He's got a theme going. I like that.
He does. I wonder if he got a deal on some Ruger Ranches or something, you know?
That's pretty cool. I like it.
What you got coming up, man? I know you dropped a video earlier today. I haven't seen it yet.
I dropped a video early for those that haven't watched it. Go check it out. 5 firearms I would not sell for $1 million. So, I think that was the title on it, something like that. But basically, 5 firearms I would never get rid of. Pretty quick video, so go check that one out.
Yeah, the lawn chair pop yesterday too.
I had the Independence Day lawn chair pop last night, so if you want to check out the MC 1911 10mm carry, the superior version to the one Ghost has, by the way.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, I've
Is that
got the
right?
compensated model and blah 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 blah. But I'm
Oh,
just saying. I'm just saying. Just saying.
you're
But yeah,
thinking
you
I
want to see that, and then
model.
more importantly with that was I talked about Betty Zane and Peter Francisco. When we talk about the American Revolution, you hear about George Washington and you hear about all of these other generals and this other and you don't hear about some of the unsung heroes that
Yeah.
literally it would not have ended up the way it did had those people not been the heroes they were. And Peter Francisco certainly was one of those people. If you don't know who that is, you really
Mhm.
need to go read about Peter Francisco. Um, not having him around could have potentially affected the outcome of the American Revolution for sure. Betty Zane, not so much, but it's really cool to see a 16-year-old young lady take on the responsibility and things that she did. I won't give their stories away too much.
Yeah.
Either check that live out from last night or go research it for yourself. But um, I've been into that for a while. I mean, I've read a lot of books with the founders and the framers. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And once you read so much about Jefferson and Franklin and Washington and all of those guys, Adams and all of those guys, Hamilton, there's only so much, and then you like start looking for other stuff. And in a lot of stuff you read from those, you get little snippets of other people throughout history. And
Yeah.
sometimes those other people played just as important of a role and they're never talked about. They're not on our
Mhm.
money. They don't
Yeah.
really have big national monuments attributed to them or anything like that.
Right. Yeah.
And so I always like to on Independence Day, let's talk about some of those basically regular people that, made a difference.
Yeah. No, I hear you. There's oh, I didn't know that. Mandatory Carey said that
Mhm.
he was on a stamp. I didn't know he was on a stamp.
Yeah, back in 1976, the bicentennial year.
And he was
Uh,
the one that had the big ass sword, wasn't it?
oh
Is
yeah,
that
carried a
am I thinking, am I,
6 foot
yeah,
broadsword.
I'm making sure
Yeah,
I'm thinking of the right person. He had a
and
big ass sword.
and killed the crap out of redcoats with a
Yeah.
6 foot broadsword. Yeah,
Yeah, I just want to make sure I was thinking of the right guy. Yeah, I remember the name. I was like, I think he was the one with the big ass sword.
fought in many, many, many battles. Was on
Mhm.
what most people would be gravely injured. In a lot of those battles, he was, and
Yeah.
yet still still kicking. But yeah, they did do mandatory carries right. They did do a with the bicentennial stamp releases they did that year.
I
They
didn't know
did
that he
have
was on
one
a
with
stamp.
him.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah,
That's kind of
they
cool.
did have
Yeah.
at least something with him, which was nice. But he doesn't get talked about enough. And like I said, Betty Zane doesn't, and
I honestly, I don't
Molly
know
Pitcher,
who it is.
Molly Pitcher, another chick, young lady, whatever you
I'm
want to call her.
aware of the picture, but I
Yeah,
was not. I'm not familiar with Zane.
yeah,
What's her
yeah.
name?
Betty Zane.
Betty Zane. Yeah, I'm not familiar with her. So yeah, I'm gonna go read her story a little bit here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. So yeah, I'll have to go look her
No,
up.
it's
Well, shit,
1976 mandatory
1976,
carry.
the 200, the
The
bicentennial.
bicentennial year. Yeah, is when they put the stamp out. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe he's dyslexic.
That's okay. But yeah, he said he thought it was the 1700s or 1800s.
Yeah.
It's a modern stamp or
And I still didn't know
out of
that
18.
who their stamp of him. So,
Yeah.
but then again, like I didn't. I mean, I know who he is. I remember him, the big sword, but I probably would have never like looked him up for a stamp or something. You know what I'm saying? I don't do stamps, so I mean, I don't like collect them or anything. So,
Yep.
okay, yeah, there you go. Yeah, happy birthday, America.
America.
America. America. Who knew the Crips and Bloods were the Civil War? Knife says that's funny. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. Yeah. I don't know if it was a heavy sword. I'm sure it was heavy. I know it was a long ass sword, a big ass sword. I'm
A
assuming it was
six
heavy.
foot a 6 foot broadsword's got to be heavy. But if you
I'm
read
saying
the exploits and go through
he
of
was a
that
big
dude,
guy though,
he
right?
was like 6'6". Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Him swinging a broadsword, like no problem for him. And plus, let's be honest, people back in those days, they were a little tougher than people nowadays anyway.
A little bit.
when you got to draw your water from the well every day, and you know what I mean? Like, you build some muscle, plow the fields and other stuff. Yeah, go build some muscle, dude. Walk everywhere you go.
Yep. You want to build a house? You're building a house. You are building a house.
Amish style. House raising.
Oh, exactly.
Going to party like it's 1899 or whatever. 1699.
Yeah.
Isn't that what it was?
1699. Yeah.
Going to party like it's 1699.
Awesome. Had fun tonight. Wanted to. I'm tired, and everyone's probably tired. It's been a long weekend for a lot of people. But yeah, I just wanted to. If you guys haven't seen it yet, and you're into the Jack Ryan series, this is the final season, season 4. The first 2 episodes are out. So enjoy that. Extraction 2 is out. Have you seen Extraction 2 yet, Clover?
I have not. That's the Hemsworth movie, right? Yeah, no, I have not.
Yeah.
Have you seen Expendables yet, Ghost?
No, I have not.
Yeah, You've got about a month for the.
No, I understand.
Just saying.
I totally forgot. I'm not gonna lie. I had time to watch the other night. I just didn't. I watched Extraction 2, and I should have watched Expendables. I just totally forgot. Totally forgot about it.
I think you'll be like me and John Wick.
So how many are there?
If you watch the first one, you will watch the other 2 because you.
Okay, so there's 3 total.
There's 3 total right now. Yeah, the 4th comes out in September. So same as John Wick.
Have you seen the 4th John Wick?
Hell yeah.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
Yeah, we talked about it the other night. Remember?
Yeah, duh. Yeah, I'm not that smart.
Yeah.
All right.
Blind dude was fucking awesome.
Oh,
Kane.
yeah.
Oh, Kane is so freaking cool.
Badass. Kane is a badass. Yeah. All right. Let's get the hell out of here. Hour and a half. We're into this. Happy birthday, America. Happy Independence Day. Hope you guys are safe. Hope you guys had fun spending time with your family, celebrating who we are. And that is the greatest country in the world. We have our flaws, no doubt. The idea of America is still a beacon in this world. Happy birthday to the greatest country ever. Well, guys, we'll see you soon. Semper Fi.